Ladies and gentlemen, it is a joy for every mother to enjoy their motherhood journey with the bundle of joy. In the process though, not all moms get to enjoy this, as some of them suffer through postpartum depression and mental health issues. And today, on our show, we are here with the founder of TLEP, Talking Hands, Listening Eyes, Judy Kihumba, a woman who will share her story on postpartum depression. TLEP is an organization that focuses primarily on mental health issues, mental health awareness among deaf moms. And we hope that through her sharing her story, it will inspire you as a mom to open up, to talk about your issues and seek the help that you need. We also wish to thank John Mishuki Memorial Park for being our lovely hosts and giving us this wonderful space where we are in. Welcome. Enjoy.
Okay. Judy is a mother of two beautiful girls and a wife. I'm married to Andrew Kihumba. I'm also an advocate of mental health and wellness of deaf nursing moms. I'm also a founder of Talking Hands, Listening Eyes on postpartum depression. And I am so passionate about the deaf moms. Okay, I think it's because I have gone through postpartum depression and I have thought about the deaf people. I have interacted with nursing deaf moms, and I have realized that they don't know much about postpartum depression. And I felt like I should be in this space to explain to them, to talk to them, and to interact to them, and to tell them more about postpartum depression, because it's one topic that is never discussed, literally because most of the hearing people don't know about it, or because there is no information about postpartum depression to the deaf moms. I have realized that it's not even signed, or we don't really discuss more about postpartum depression to the deaf moms. Okay. I would say that my pregnancy was very smooth. The second baby, in fact, I would say it was better than the first pregnancy. This is almost 2 years ago. The pregnancy was very smooth. In fact, I did so much during this time, and I was okay. According to me, I was okay mentally, I was okay physically, my health was okay. But in the process of this pregnancy, I lost two very important people in my life, and I never knew that I really suffered from anything. I never thought that I was affected by their death, but after I gave birth, that's when I realized I had been affected because of what came after that. I remember when I gave birth, I really struggled with the baby for almost the first 3 or 4 months before I could know what was happening with me. I would say the mode of delivery when giving birth doesn't matter when you're getting postpartum depression, because this is a mental health, it's a mental issue. So whether it's a C-section, whether it's a normal delivery, it doesn't affect any mental health. But I would say I got my baby through a CS. And the reason was because my firstborn, I had a scar already, so I couldn't get another scar. So I gave birth through CS. I'd say I had not heard about postpartum depression at all. I never knew about postpartum depression. Reason, I don't know whether I was ignorant, because of course it was not my first baby. But I learned about it later. And I didn't know about it. I would say I didn't know about it. I had never even thought about it because it was new to me. Okay, I would say number one, when the baby would cry, that used to crush me into pieces. I would never hold the baby crying. I would never compose myself. In fact, most of the times I would cry with the baby. I remember there were days, it was on and off, because there were days I would never want anybody touching my baby. I remember there was one night that 2 weeks after birth, actually, I slept on the sofa holding my baby. I wouldn't even sleep. I was just seated holding the baby all through the whole night because I was not, I didn't want even my husband to touch the baby. I was feeling like I'm feeling the baby. I was never stable mentally until at that time. That's when I realized this is not normal. There were days I would never want even to bathe my baby. There were days I would never want to touch the baby. There were days I really want to be with the baby all through. So, and I used to have these headaches that were never ending. I used even to think that I think I'm not a very good mom to my baby. Those were the things that were running through my mind all this time. And that's when we realized we needed to seek for a medical attention. A doctor maybe would know what was happening with me, because I even got sick. I had these headaches that were never ending. Every day I would have pills to painkillers because of the headaches. I would say there's something I forgot to say about one of the major challenges that I had within this time of accepting my baby. The reason was I had had a miscarriage before. And when I got this miscarriage, it happened in a way that I couldn't explain, and I kept this to myself. And when I went to the hospital, the doctor said that I couldn't carry another pregnancy. So it was it really, really affected me. So when I got my baby, I kept thinking this baby wasn't supposed to be. You know those questions you ask yourself, was the doctor right, or what exactly happened? I think at that point of thinking about the other baby that I lost before kept making me feel like I wasn't a very good mom to this baby. And then I kept wondering, maybe it was the other baby. Of course, I was wondering, would I have taken care of her better than the one I'm taking care of now? And the other thing was, my baby was a very cool baby. I would say she's not she was even at that age, I was feeling like she's very independent. So I was feeling like forcing myself into her life in a way. So anytime she would irritate me or cry, I was feeling like, this baby, it's too much. Yeah. I would say, when we went to the hospital, and like a specific night that we went to, like 3 hospitals, because I was in a lot of pain. I would go to the hospital and just given painkillers. When we went to the last time, one of the doctors asked me whether I had had a smooth pregnancy. I explained I had a very nice smooth pregnancy health-wise. And then when the doctor asked me a very personal question that made me now start thinking about myself. She asked me whether I love my baby. And then I started thinking, I love my baby very much. But the things that were happening around me were making me not sure whether I love the baby or not. And in that point, I felt like I need to think more about this. So this time the doctor told me about postpartum depression. Actually, I had never heard about it, and from there the doctor looked for a counselor for me, and as we talked, I realized that there was so much that I didn't know. It was not in the open as a mother. And in the process of me interacting with the deaf people, I have met deaf people who are going through it, whether in a very deep way or just a normal baby blues. I realized there's so much that they don't know about postpartum depression. That's why I thought about this route of working with deaf moms through pregnancy, through mental health, even after birth. I would say it was very, very good. I felt like I got all the support that I needed. In my small circle of friends, I am a friend of children, I would say. I have a group of 4 girls, I would say. One is my firstborn daughter, who is now 5, and 3 more girls. And the oldest in that group is 12. And they would be in our house in fact, it's they even welcomed me even before the baby came. They were very excited about the pregnancy. In fact, they are the ones who chose the name for the baby. So I knew I had their support from the word go. And when I gave birth, they were ever there. In the morning, they would come, wake me up, tell me, we want the baby, you sleep. And that one gave me a lot of time even to reflect on myself and even on the baby. They would wake me up, we'd come, tell me it's time to shower the baby. So we'd go bathe the baby together, dress the baby together. After that, they would pick the baby and I would be left alone and sleep. And also my husband at night. There were nights he would not sleep or I would not sleep because he was ever there. And in this time, he was my support system. I would say the 4 girls plus, of course, I had a very good house help who worked with me through this. So I would say I had support system. Then I realized there's so many deaf people, even if it's the people they are living with, even if it's family members, 98% of the family members of deaf families, they don't know sign language. So even if I'm there trying to explain myself, because there were days I was never even able to explain myself, I would just sleep, I would just cry. Nobody would feel, maybe the family members would be thinking, this deaf girl just doesn't want the baby, or it's too much. So out of that, that's why I saw the reason of highlighting the postpartum depression to deaf moms, because they may be going through all this and they don't know about it, or they have no clue of what it is about and how to overcome it. Just like myself, if the doctor never talked to me, I would never have known what it is. I would say first, it's true, most of the deaf moms, of course it's all deaf, that's why they're deaf, because they can't hear. They don't know when the baby is crying. They don't know when the baby is crying for attention. They don't know when the baby is crying because it's hungry. They don't know when the baby is crying because of the baby needs to be changed. And all these cries, to us hearing moms, we know them. We can tell, this one is just attention. You can tell from the way the baby is crying. Or even when the baby opens the mouth, sometimes it's not, the baby is not even crying. For a deaf mom, will just look and see the baby opening the mouth, thinking the baby is crying. And sometimes the baby is even laughing or playing. So with all this, I realized that there's so much the deaf people are not aware, and it's not because they are not aware, it's because there's nobody else to work with them. And I realized that in this working with them and making them know the stages of motherhood and how the baby, in fact, I tell them that there are times you feed your baby and leave the baby there. If you see the baby opening the mouth, it's not like every time they need to be fed, or every time they need to be changed, or every time they need your attention. Sometimes leave the baby there, because I've realized most of the deaf mothers, they don't want to leave their babies. They're ever holding the baby. There's one I'm working with who had a back problem, and the reason is she never kept the baby down. From the baby is feeding, the baby is sleeping, the baby, every time she's holding the baby. And it's that fear of, if I put the baby down and the baby, in case the baby cries, I can't hear. So I advise the deaf moms, have somebody around you, even if you're alone, maybe a neighbor or somebody who can be checking on you, or a family member who can be checking on you. And if you don't have that, contact us as well, because we'll give our contacts, because we may know how to keep on checking on you and asking you questions and following up on you. Yeah, I would say you can never diagnose yourself with postpartum depression. It has to be a doctor, or a medical doctor, or a person like a counselor or a psychiatrist who should see, no, this is beyond the normal baby blues. Because baby blues is just that anxiety of, I'm a new mom, I don't know what is entitled, what are the expectations of me taking care of this baby, I don't know what the other people think about me, I don't know. But with postpartum depression, it's beyond depression, it's beyond the normal baby blues, that anxiety of, I don't know what to do. Is it time to feed the baby? I'm not sure whether the baby has fed well. No. So anytime you feel like you are overly sad, or even the slight emotional feeling that you get, the best thing is to go to the hospital first, and the doctors will tell you or will diagnose what you're going through, rather than thinking, I'm here in this state and thinking this is what I'm going through, or having that pity, sorry feeling all the time. Go to the hospital, or look out for people who can help you go through this. Yeah, that's when we introduce you to Talking Hands, Listening Eyes. We invite you, maybe we'll give you our contacts. This is when we tell you to reach out to us. or reach out to any other person who may contact us. Reach out to the hospitals, because I know by now many hospitals know about the deaf people. They may not know much deeper things about deaf people, but if you go to the hospital and explain yourself, many hospitals are able to reach out, either look for an interpreter who may explain further, or look out even for your family members who may explain what you have been going through, and in that way you'll be able to get help. I'll tell them two things. Number one, know you are the best mom in this world. Always know that. And that's the reason that God gave you that baby. Because there's so many other moms there would be wanting to have that baby, and they don't have that baby. So God chose you to be the one to take care of that baby. So despite everything, despite how you feel, know that you are a chosen one. God has chosen you for that reason. Number two, look out for someone who may work with you, whether it's a friend who can reach out to other people who may help you, whether it's a counselor or a family member who may be able to work with you through this journey. Please don't be alone in taking care of your baby, because I realize most moms go through burnouts because you are with the baby 24 hours, 24/7. You are there thinking about the baby. You get tired emotionally and physically. So the best thing is look out for other people who may help you. If you are a single mom living alone, I know that I've seen that with many deaf people, deaf mothers. Please, even if it's a neighbor who you can be calling once in a while to come and check on you, or even tell them, if you see that I've slept for so long, please come and wake me up. That way, build a community with yourself. The other thing is, have friends that you can trust as well. Somebody who can tell, this is what I'm going through and I think I need help. If you feel like it's too much, that's why we are here. Talking Hands, we are here to walk this journey with deaf moms. I'd say, harming my baby, no. I loved my baby very much. And every time I would think of me being away from my baby. In fact, because of what I had gone through, every day I would always put myself like I'm not there. If I'm not there, how would this baby survive? In fact, that's what affected me most. How would this baby live? How would she survive knowing there was a mother who loved her and she's not there? I remember there is a day I went very far from the baby, I think 3 weeks after I gave birth. Very far, it was far because I drove about a far place, because I was thinking I needed to be far away from the baby. But this was not because I was running away. It was because I was feeling, if I'm not there, how would this baby survive? And in the process, I felt like I need to give this baby space to know how, if the baby would adapt without the mother. But I learned later that it was the wrong decision. Of course, I was not very sane when I was thinking about this, even when I was doing this. But I never felt the thing of harming the baby. I never felt it, or harming myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you had it. Her story on her journey on postpartum depression. A condition that can get to any of you as a mom, whether you had a normal pregnancy or you went through the C-section. We want to encourage you today, if this is your journey, if this has been your situation, you can reach us through the THLEP social media handles on Facebook and Instagram at THLEP, THLEP. You can write to us on email at thlep.org20@gmail.com. You can call us on 0769 811 399. Again, 0769 811 399, and we will be glad to walk this journey of motherhood with you. Thank you, and God bless.